Welcome, seekers of truth on the eternal path. This is the big one. We gather here to contemplate one of the most magnificent mechanisms of divine providence, God's law of progress. To understand this law is to understand the very heartbeat of the universe. It is the assurance that we are not drifting aimlessly in a chaotic void, but rather we are ascending a luminous ladder that leads inevitably toward perfection. Let us cast our minds back to the genesis of our journey. We often hear romantics speak of the state of nature as a lost paradise, a pristine condition we have tragically abandoned. But the spirits teach us a higher truth. The state of nature is not our destination. It was our infancy. Just as a child must leave the cradle to become an adult, humanity was destined to emerge from the primitive forest. While the state of nature offers a respite from certain artificial tribulations, the happiness found there is the ignorant happiness of the brute. We were created for something far more resplendent. We contain within us the seed of our own improvement, and to remain in a primitive state would be to deny the very will of God. There is a question that holds the weary heart. Can we regress? When we look at the darkness of the world, do we slide backward into our former animality? The Spirit's answer is a resounding no. The soul, once awakened, cannot return to slumber. We may pause, we may stumble, we may spend centuries in hesitation, but we never lose what we have acquired. The Spirit must progress without ceasing. It is a living force that flawed human laws may hinder, but can never stifle. However, we must possess the nuance to distinguish between the two great wings of our ascent: intellectual progress and moral progress. History demonstrates that these two forces do not always beat in rhythm. Intellectual progress, the sharpening of the mind, the mastery of science, often arrives first. We see cultures that are artistically and technologically brilliant, yet ethically perverse. Why? Because the intellect is merely the instrument, morality is the master that wields it. Until the moral sense is developed, humanity may use its intelligence to commit evil. But do not despair at this temporary discordance. Enlightenment eventually leads to the understanding of good and evil, and inevitably, the development of free will increases our responsibility. They will achieve balance over time. What then is the greatest enemy of this balance? It is the twin hydra of pride and selfishness. These are the anchors that drag against the ship of progress. Yet, even in the throes of ambition and the accumulation of wealth, providence is at work. The very pursuit of material gain incites research and enlightens the spirit, unconsciously preparing the soil for moral truths. We must also look with a philosopher's eye at the rise and fall of nations. We see great civilizations crumble into dust and ask, is this not death? The spirits reply, it is renovation. Think of a civilization as a physical dwelling. When a house threatens to collapse, one must demolish it to build a stronger, more comfortable sanctuary. The spirits who once inhabited those fallen empires have not vanished. They have graduated. Having outgrown a barbaric or decadent society, they have migrated to brighter worlds or more advanced dwellings. In their place, younger, less experienced souls inherit the earth to learn their own lessons. Thus, society may seem to fluctuate, but the spirit is always marching forward. Sometimes, this march is slow and gentle. At other times, when a culture becomes stagnant, Providence sends a physical or moral jolt. We perceive these as catastrophes or revolutions. We see only the storm and the momentary disorder that disrupts our material interests. But if we could lift our gaze above the fray, we would see that these upheavals are like the tempest that cleanses the heavy atmosphere. They shatter the crumbling edifices of the past to make way for the future. And what is that future? What is the definition of true civilization? It is not merely the steam engine, the telegraph, or the finery of our dress. You may call yourselves truly civilized only when you have banished the vices that dishonor your society. True civilization exists where there is the least selfishness, egoism, and pride, where the weak find support against the strong, and where laws are not framed for the privileged, but are aligned with the immutable natural law of God. We are moving toward a time when the artificial boundaries of nationality will dissolve not into a single political state, but into a universal brotherhood. Nationalities are born of climatic needs and local customs. But charity knows no latitude. It distinguishes no color. When the law of God becomes the basis of human law, we shall live as a family, no longer seeking to deceive or live at the expense of our neighbor. Finally, we must ask, what is the role of Spiritism in this grand design? Spiritism is not a mere curiosity. It is the lever of the new era. It has arrived to strike the final blow against materialism, that great sore of society. By proving through reason and observation the continuity of life, it removes the veil of doubt. It teaches us that our current existence is but a moment in an eternal odyssey. Spiritism does not demand blind faith through miracles, for God guides humanity through reason, not magic. It builds upon the foundations laid by Christ. Where the ancients prepared the soil and Christ planted the seed, Spiritism now must cultivate the plant and will come to harvest the fruit. Let us not be discouraged by the skeptics or the slowness of the hour. Ideas transform gradually. The old prejudices will die out with the generations that cling to them, and a new generation, imbued with these truths, is already rising. So, walk with your heads high. You are not dust returning to dust. You are immortal spirits engaged in a glorious work of self-perfection. The obstacles are temporary. The destination is eternal happiness. Progress is the law, and God deserts no one. Let us, therefore, align our laws with divine justice, open our hearts to universal charity, and participate joyfully in the ascending march of the worlds.